better count us in.
Man, what?
Because we in for the win, baby.
Yeah, man. And I've had so many experience with the law here, I got chased out the neighborhood and told not to come back. Otherwise, I was going to get arrested. So I changed ways up and changed things up. As far as making money, I had to do out-of-town things.
Right.
And I started, and I didn't let that stop me because, like I said, once you're a boss, your mindset stays there.
For sure.
And it
adapts to the environment.
Yeah, I adapted. So I was an ape in the jungle, and I just adapted. I had to go to a new jungle, and I had to conquer that. And, but like I said, it wasn't easy. It was a lot of stuff that came with it, that I had to take along with that,
Life. We call that lifing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to move in a certain way. Stay on the low and move it far away. No matter what you do.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to From Blocks to Boardrooms, the block model. And I'm your host, Tajuddin. And we're bringing you something that's rare, something that's fine, something that's genuine, the block model. Man, I have a new guest for episode 4, man. I got Dre Banks from Dre Banks Entertainment. And I want to allow him to introduce himself outside of my introduction because there's so much that I want to talk about, and I want to allow him to have the platform. So, man, put your hands together for Dre Banks Entertainment.
You did. Thank you. Thank you for having me. From blocks to the boardrooms, you heard?
You heard it. You heard it from the horse's mouth.
You did, yeah. My name's Dre Banks. I'm a Grand Rapids native, and I was born into this music game, and I came a long way. I came from nothing to something, and it was a long journey. You know what I'm saying? Working with such people as the Barges, AZ, Styles P, Trina. The list goes on. Miss Toy, so I've been one of the pioneers that's been doing it for years, man. And I'm just happy to be here right now.
Man, alhamdulillah, man. I'm happy to have you, man.
Yeah.
As we were talking, man, in a previous conversation, man, I feel that Taj, man, I don't know hip hop without knowing you in a part of it, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. It's been that long. It's, for me, it's been years, and being able to be blessed to watch the DeBarges, play instruments on their porch and looking at them rehearsal was a big stepping stone for me.
Wow, that's amazing to you.
Yeah, the DeBarges, it's hands down, it's like one of the hardest working groups I ever had the privilege to see and meet. And, I became good friends with Chico and, to watch Chico do his first album, to look at him in the studio and he's on his piano and he's doing everything to make all the magic, man. It was an opportunity of a lifetime for me.
Wow, man, that's amazing.
Yeah, I think that's what brought me further into the game. Because of people like them. And, I was one of the few that, one of the lucky ones that people didn't even know who they were, who they was when they was doing what they was doing. So for me, it was big because, Switch was just becoming Switch.
Right.
It wasn't even the Barges yet, it was Switch.
Right. So special shouts out to my Uncle Greg, man, Greg Williams, man. He's the creator of Switch.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. He's the developer of Switch.
Shout out to Greg Williams, man.
For sure, man.
Yeah. It was, like I said, it was a pleasure, man, looking at them. And, I took so much from that, man, to develop my own self over the years, because I was one of the ones that played in the church and stuff. And, I started off playing the drums, and it went from the drums to the machines, and from the machines to producing to being an actual artist. So I journeyed through every level of music, and it's just been, every step has been, something new and adventurous.
Wow.
So
I got a question, man, for myself, man. Like, what were some of your challenges at the beginning stages of when you first like started moving towards when you started understanding that this was what you wanted to do, you had a burning desire. What was your biggest challenges?
I just at that point I think it was just learning the skills, learning the having the ambition, and just really trying to become something that at that point I didn't really know what I wanted to be. But as I started getting older with it, I started learning where I wanted to be with myself.
Right.
And those type of journeys, a lot of people don't understand what they want to be until they get older. But right then I knew I wanted to be an artist.
Right.
I wanted to do the singing. Sometimes I would challenge myself to do things that I knew I couldn't do, but that's what made it beautiful.
Right.
I like working with the machines. I went from playing drums to playing the machines and the boards, and that took some time to learn.
Right.
To record myself, to build a studio, to not only work on my craft, but to understand a lot of the technology that came along with recording.
Right.
And, like I say, it was a passion that I wanted. I knew that I wanted because, my father was into music, and he the one got me playing the drums and really getting into that. And by us living by the DeBarges, it was a pleasure for me to hear them out of my window and literally walk 100 yards around up the street to hear them and see them.
Right.
So, after taking all that in at such a young age, I learned myself. I learned myself as an artist.
Right.
And I developed myself. And it's a lot of struggles to become an artist because everything is such advanced.
Let's rewind the tape though, man, because it was a time when you wasn't an artist.
Yeah.
So I wanna get back to that. I wanna get back. Let's get because you had to lead up to become an artist.
Yeah.
You gave us a little bit of the journey, but let's do it. Let's rewind the tape a little bit.
I think I just was into being money. My granddad, I grew up on Sherman and Fuller, so my granddad was kind of like a rich dude. He had a good, his own business, and I fell in love with money at an early age, probably 8 or 9. When I started working with him and learning the skills of having a business and making money, but not only making money, but making a profit. And once my grandfather was getting sick, it kind of turned me into a monster. And that's when I was introduced to the street game, and a lot of stuff came with that. I've had my share of it. It was just being addicted to money, and I think that was my my thing that really stirred up a lot of stuff with me.
So being addicted to money is no different than being addicted to the drug.
Right, absolutely.
Because the money is an addiction.
It is.
And it's a driving force.
Right.
And when you have an allure for it, and when you have a burning desire to chase it, you risk everything for it.
Yeah. And my journey, like I said, I've been in the game, and I've been in the dope game many years, and it was one of them things that I was attracted to. I was attracted to money, fast cars, pretty women, and I got all that through the dope game. But I've had my shares of fumbles. I went to prison once. And,
hold on. So let's rewind the tape. So what led that? What led you to prison?
Well, to get in the music game, you either got to have a structure of somebody that's rich already, or some type of big cash flow coming in to do what you need to do. So at the time, that was my way of making my own budget. I was more like my own boss. For me, I don't like being told what to do. I like being my own boss in any way possible. And I think that was one of the things that my granddad instilled in me, was to how to become a boss. And, you know, I say this a lot. People think being a boss is somebody that has millions and millions of dollars. That's not a boss.
Right.
A boss is a person who can come to the table and make something happen out of nothing.
100%.
And my grandfather was one of those men, you know, so I learned a lot from him.
Rest in peace, Papa.
Yeah, rest in peace, Vernon Chivers, man, shout out.
Mashallah.
You know, like I said, man, he taught me a lot, and it was just, at that time, I was addicted to money because he showed me what money was. And he's, you know, and I was a young boy going to Las Vegas like 8 times a year, and it got to the point that we was making so much money. I was tired of Vegas. You know, it was like, are we going to Vegas again? You know, type thing. But you know, just to be able to experience, being well off from my grandfather
At such an early age.
At such an early age.
Word.
It was like, yo, and he fed me that, because when we would go to Vegas, he would give me $500 to go do what I want. And I would be like, okay. And so I would go to the mall, and, my grandfather was a big name. So it got to the point where I was a little boy pulling slot machines, and the casino would turn the other cheek, you know what I'm saying? And because they respected my grandfather. Right. And I think that was one of the things I picked up on, was how to be a boss early. And that translated to being in the dope game, because I was addicted to money. Right. The money is an addiction. And the more you have, the better off you are, you know. And that was my whole motto. I think I took that to a whole nother level. And I remember I was in the right neighborhood too. I grew up on Wealthy, so
I remember
everything I learned was off my area, right? And ever since I was a baby, so being around there, growing up, going to Sigsbee, and I'm meeting all the big dogs while we was little, Mike J, T-Walk, all those big guys, you know what I'm saying? I looked up to those people. Slick Rick, when we used to be on Wealthy in front of the limelight, you know what I'm saying? It was just a lot of stuff that I picked up on when I was little and young. And, I was in the right area, man. Gun Road, shout out to my neighborhood, man.
Shout out to the Gun Road.
Yeah, you did.
G-Rap City. We here, baby.
Yeah,
we made it to the platform. For sure. They tried to count us out.
They tried to count us out.
They better count us in.
Man, what?
Because we in for the win, baby.
Yeah, man. And I've had so many experience with the law here, I got chased out the neighborhood and told not to come back. Otherwise, I was going to get arrested. So I changed ways up and changed things up. As far as making money, I had to do out-of-town things. And I started, and I didn't let that stop me, because, like I said, once you're a boss, your mindset stays there.
For sure.
And it
adapts to the environment.
Yeah, I adapted. So I was an ape in the jungle, and I just adapted. I had to go to a new jungle, and I had to conquer that. And, but like I said, it wasn't easy. It was a lot of stuff that came with it, that I had to take along with that,
life. We call that lifing.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just one of those things, man, that you grow into and you learn how to manifest. And like I say, I had a good run with it, and it taught me a lot, and it taught me how to be a man and to put value on things, right? And not just be out there doing it for the show or something, but it was a lot more meaning to what I was doing.
Right, you had a purpose, and that's the thing that I try to tell the younger fellas and the younger guys that's in the game, that's still playing. Man, have a purpose while you there.
Right.
Have an exit plan. Have a reason why. If you there, have a reason why you there, and have a reason why to get up out of there. Right. Have an exit plan, because one thing about the game, it only got 2 ways of going out. Right. Either death or in prison, and then you might mess around and be an addict to your own drugs, or you might mess around and just become a victim.
A victim. Yeah, and I've seen that a lot.
Me too.
Being from my area where I'm from, I had a chance to witness the good and the bad.
100%.
And you know, the bad really did its toll on us.
100%.
And you know,
way more than the good.
Yeah, and you know, and that's the sad thing because you know, as us growing up in poverty, you know, we look for certain things, certain ways to get out of there.
Right.
You know, and sometimes it gets to the point where we're willing to take those chances.
We are.
Because that's how desperate we want the good life.
Right.
And you know, and like I said, I fell victim to a lot of stuff, and I wanted the good life. I wanted to bring my kids into this world and not have them struggle the way I did,
right,
or come up the way that I did. I try to make it better for them,
right,
and be more involved with them, so that they wouldn't take a turn like me,
right.
And I praise God that all my children are still here, and you know, I got some rough times with some of them, and I got a lot of good times with all of them, but at the end of the day,
alhamdulillah though, man, just to be able. One thing I've learned about parenting, is that you have an opportunity to get better at it, as long as you're willing.
Yeah.
You got to just be willing to get better at it, because there was no book given.
No.
Nobody wrote a book and said, this is what you got to follow. This is the criteria to follow being a good father.
You're right.
You know what I mean? But every child needs something different.
Every child needs a father.
100%.
And that's the most important thing that I got from my parents, is that my mom and dad was together most of my kid life.
Right.
And I got the chance to see what both parents were in the house, because, you know, we got that bad name on us with the black men that's not raising ours. And so I didn't ever want to have that stigma on me.
Right, 100%.
You know, I've always wanted to go out and get mines and show them, hold their hand and walk through them, because I love all my kids.
Right.
I love them.
Right.
I love them. I'm glad I had every one of them. I don't wish that I didn't ever have none of my kids. I love them all.
Right. As you should.
And like you said, as you get older, you become a better parent. But I was a good parent in my first one because I was interested. I was so interested in my firstborn. I was like, yo, dude, I got a baby. Like, you know.
It was major.
You know, this is major for me right now. And, you know, I took that in and I clothed him
But he was spoiled too, though. Man. Little Dre was spoiled. Everybody did. Not just you, everybody did.
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody did.
You know, it was one of those things, man, when you become a father for the first time, it does something to you.
Yes.
And even though I was in the streets, it still calmed me down and humbled me, because I recognized that I had brought a life into this world, and I want to be the best father that I can be. And that was my goal at that time, was to be the best father, because even though with the music was around me and stuff, I pushed it to the side because I had my firstborn. And my firstborn, he taught me so much, and you know, he taught me love and compassion, and to watch him grow into a successful black man that he is today. And I'm so proud of him for all his accomplishments.
Right, for sure. Yep. So we're going to always be fathers, man.
Always.
And our children going to always need us.
Yes.
Regardless if they know it or not.
Regardless.
That's the thing that I'm coming into realization, regardless if they know it or not, because at certain stages, they don't think they need you.
Right.
At certain stages, they don't think that they need to hear. They don't want to hear you. They don't want to listen. They don't want to be admonished.
Right.
They don't want to be told right from wrong. They want to be able to do what they want to do, as we did.
Right.
So I had to remember that I was the same way.
Right.
Nobody couldn't tell me nothing at these ages, man. I ended up in penitentiary at the ages of my first set of young children. My youngest ones are 18, 19, 20. I was in prison each one of those years, from 18 to 22. So me having that example of my life, to see my children, and I have gaps in their life too from prison. Prison put gaps there, so prison can put a bad name,
Yes.
a bad relationship,
Yeah.
and depending upon the relationship with the parents, it's going to dictate how the outcome become with the children and the father.
Absolutely.
You feel me?
100%.
Because we don't get the good, we don't always get the best end of the stick when we got odds with the parents.
Right.
And this is for the parents. When you got odds with one another, don't involve the children.
Right.
Don't allow the children to suffer.
Right.
Inshallah, man. That's something I think is very important.
Very important.
In the black community, because
And that's where we have a lot of we have a lot of percentage of black men in prison.
100%.
And unfortunately, these black kids is growing up without having a mentor or a father figure around their life, and that's the sad part. And that's where we get a lot of problems stirring in our cities and in our neighborhoods now.
Right, but then it takes the elders, the OGs, who's already done did the time, already done got the lessons, to come back and bring the correction.
Right.
And this is what this is, coming back bringing correction.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing is being a person in the Department of Corrections, but it's another thing coming back correcting from the Department of Corrections.
Yeah.
You feel me? So,
And I find myself doing it a lot now.
alhamdulillah, man, it's beautiful because you've seasoned now.
Yeah.
You a veteran. You're not a rookie anymore. You're not just you've been in the game for so long. You bring wisdom now.
Absolutely.
And those that are blessed enough to sit with you would know that you bring that.
Absolutely.
And it's and it's sometimes that we get in our own way because we think that we know.
Right.
But when you get around someone that knows you, we got to be all right with being a student.
Right.
Like me, I'm a student of knowledge. Any type of information is a benefit. I want to be a student of it because I want to learn.
You got to soak it in.
You got to, bro. Because if we're
like
not
a sponge out here,
man, 100%, bro.
and that's part of the reason why, people like me and you still around, because, you got to be lurking about your surroundings, how you move, how you walk, how you talk to people, and you got to go through life doing that, because it's so easy to trigger something and get something started, and people don't think, especially us black people, we quick to do it fast, reaction, and then think about the consequence later.
Right.
When it should be the other way around.
100%.
And that's what we have to try to do, what we do as young black men, because it's our fault, No,
100%.
It's our fault because we knew what the white people was doing.
But it's even, to me, it's even deeper than that, because we have examples, and we have the ability for a choice and a chance as everyone else.
That's the beautiful thing about that.
So we have to accept that, though, and that becomes with responsibility.
Absolutely.
Men have a responsibility to uphold, to be the maintainers, protectors, and providers of the women and the children.
Absolutely.
And until we fulfill that role, we will be banished.
Right.
They will treat us the same way that they've been treating us, like niggas, like slaves, because we haven't stood firm, 10 toes beneath us.
Right.
So until we put the ground beneath our feet, man, we gonna keep swinging in the air.
That's right. And that's what I'm gonna keep doing. I'm gonna keep swinging. I lost. It is a saying. We might have lost the fight, but we ain't lost the war.
100%.
We still here.
We still here, and we still got work to do. We still got a lot of more training to do.
A lot more.
A lot of more learning to do.
Yeah.
A lot of more growing to do.
A lot more giving.
For sure, and a lot more giving.
Because my purpose now is to see how I can build with my team and my people. If you look at the average black man, the one question you should be asking them is like, what do you own? What do you have? That's considered yours. What can you do to help our community? And I look at so many black men doing so many things, like Floyd Mayweather. Like Ottawa turned him down to expand the school or give the school better football clothes and jerseys, and Floyd wanted to do that, and it was crazy that the school turned it down. It's like, here you got a rich black man that made it successfully, and he's trying to bring the good things back to our community, but sometimes our community shuts it down. It was crazy just to see how they just would say, no, we don't want this, we don't want that. It's like, I thought we were on the same page here.
But that's the part when the people aren't active in the decision making.
Right.
And we let other people make the decisions,
for us.
And that's where we get caught up in the catch-22, because everybody don't got the best interest for the people.
Right.
So we got to be mindful of who we put in them elected.
And them seats.
In them seats, man.
And them judges' seats.
Yeah, all of them.
Because it's terrible.
It's horrible.
It's terrible.
100%.
I just read an article where a black man, he was the 5th longest prisoner in the United States. He served 65 years in the joint for a crime he didn't commit. And he got released 2021. He's from Philadelphia.
Wow.
And to see that type of stuff, man, it's like, yo, where do we go wrong at? Because
civil rights.
Exactly.
Trying to assimilate.
Trying to be civil rights leaders.
No, to me, it was when we tried to go in the places that our opponents didn't want us to go.
Exactly.
Instead of establishing our own.
Right.
As we had our own established. Mm-hmm. We've done it before.
Right.
We had Black Wall Street, so it's not that we wasn't able to do it. Mm-hmm. We've done it. It was the willingness to keep doing it, mm-hmm. and not trying to assimilate with the one who's brought you here, enslaves you. You want to go to their schools and integrate with their children, and mm-hmm. you inbreed, and you chose this, and this is the consequences of it.
Right.
It's a consequence to coming when you get in bed with the opponent.
Right.
And this is what happened. We got in bed with the opponent because their actions showed us that we aren't their allies.
Yeah. It's sickening.
Yeah, so we can't be fooled ourselves, and that's what happens. Mm-hmm. Like Malcolm said, we've been hoodwinked and bamboozled, and we keep falling for the banana.
Keep falling for the same banana in the tailpipe thing. So it's like a routine, and that's what I see too. I see a straight a circle going on with our people. It used to be a time when black women was artists, and they would come out like Queen Latifah and MC Lyte, and they would come out and spit that conscious stuff, and we was digging that. But then at the point it became like, yo, this is too much for our kids. And then now we got these sexy red girls and these Sukiyani, and it's a disgrace. And what I'm hearing is coming out of these women's mouth right now.
Especially if you got daughters and granddaughters.
That's the killing part about it, because it seemed like they didn't have no father figures.
They didn't.
Because for them to come out and rap about things that they done, it's like the world, society wants them to be as wrong as they can be.
As raunchy, yeah. But this is why I say we gotta be able to identify the opponent. The opponent glorifies and ranges and ranks that up and rank.
Right.
The opponent put that up there, made sure that was on every stream, that was everywhere, sexy. She everywhere. Yeah. The opponent did that for the distraction.
Right.
And guess what? We fell for the distraction. Yeah. And until we get undistracted, though, we only can fall for it until we get undistracted and get back focused.
And it's sad because, these girls, they don't really know what they're doing right now. And maybe in the next 10 years, they're going to be like, oh, my God, I did that? And it's sad because now you put it out there in the universe for the universe to soak it up. And then you make another little young kid or young girl want to be like you because now you done messed with their mind.
Glamorized.
Yeah. And it's just, it's sad, man, because
they glamorize whorishness.
Yeah. It's we got to fix it.
No, yeah, because we set the example, though. The men set the example. So they only following the trends that Two Live Crew done. Anybody who've done nasty music, those females are products of that, man. Look at, so it's the industry. The industry is full of this. When you think about the leaders of the industry, this is what they do. We've seen this with the No Diddy, No Honorable mentions on this podcast, so we ain't gonna put nobody's name out here. We ain't gonna put no accusations out here, because there's no dishonorable mentions. Anybody that's been dishonorable, they don't get no love on the podcast, man. We not honoring the dishonorable.
Right.
But back to the industry. The industry has been dishonorable to us as fans and as customers, because those that's been in power has been misleading those that's been following.
Say it, man. I'm telling you.
You feel me?
I feel just like that. I feel we've been misled and bamboozled.
No, we have.
And they didn't set the traps up for us. You know, to me, it's been a plan that they made from the jump to go to be a music artist and to sing or rap about certain violences and things, and it turns into other things. We've gotten so naive that we're starting to kill each other over rap. You got Biggie, you got Tupac, that those people should still be here.
So you think about the people that plays the puppet masters.
Yeah.
See, it's the puppet masters.
Puppet masters.
And the artists that don't have control of their music are the puppets. If you don't got control, and that's what I've been trying to tell the young brothers and sisters that's doing music, man, own your music. Make sure you got your paperwork in order, because you go sign into a label or a major and you ain't got your stuff in order, they gonna get it in order for you.
They're gonna get you together.
But guess what? At a percentage that you ain't gonna know is gonna cut from that check, though.
Exactly.
You feel me?
They don't see that.
No, they don't see that.
Come, they get blindsided quick.
Sure, 100%.
Because we're trained to think one way.
Right.
And when we got those type of problems, those leads to bigger problems, and other artists fall into that same hole.
Right.
And that's what we have to do. We got to figure out the way to get the puppet master and take him down.
So this is one of the blocks that I've seen from the industry's perspective, is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been removing that piece, because it's been allowing indie artists to have the ability to control their narrative. However, where they get to catch 22 it when it comes to them still wanting the machine behind them.
Absolutely.
And the machine comes with a sacrifice.
Yes,
and the machine comes with you damn near having to choose this life or that life.
You know, that's the goal for any artist, to get the machine behind them. But then, there's fine clause in there, that they don't realize. And that's where they have to get special lawyers to look at, because when they put that paperwork out and they're not understanding it, to any artist that's trying to do the thing and be great, take your time and get your paperwork looked at professionally.
Right, 100%.
My advice is to make sure that, the negotiation table stays open until every party is happy with their role and what they're supposed to be doing and what is supposed to be expected.
Agreed.
A lot of times these artists, they get blindfolded and blindsided because they too anxious. They want to move forward, and they say, "Hey, we'll get back with you in a week," and they get a little halftime lawyer that don't know these certain languages that they use in the music game, and then later on, 5 months later, you find out you're getting fucked. And that's the point of, really being conscious with this music, because it's called the music game. And a lot of these artists, again, they like to go to the studio and shoot videos and put their stuff on out, and that's it. And then they look for like, hey, what's next? And they don't understand that you just did the 10% of it. There's a whole 90%
that you missing.
That you just missed because you were so anxious to get in here and get behind this microphone. Well, it ain't that simple.
Right.
You got 90% of business part that you have to deal with before you even get to the music. And a lot of people's talented, but they don't care. They don't care if you're not talented or not.
Not at all.
Doesn't make a difference to them.
Nope.
They just want to learn how they can make a penny off you.
That's it.
And I think that's where some of the problems is, because I see some of these artists, they sign deals and now they mad because they did it because they haunted and they broken in ever. But you be like, yeah, well, you just got $1 million. Well, check this out. We just promoted your song. Let's take $500,000 of that, and we just shot your video. Let's take another $100,000 off of that, and all these things, hotels and driving,
expenditures that you've been spending,
hitting you.
Get all of that
So
back.
that $1 million comes right back to the label,
and then you owe.
and now you're owing.
And now you trying to get the shows and push.
And now you're under a contract that you have to fulfill.
100%.
And that might be 5 years.
10 years.
10 years.
Depending on the contract.
You might be doing 8 albums for this label. You might be doing an album a year.
So you
that's what people got to realize. You sign yourself on to lose your soul.
Right. And that's what we trying to save them from this, though.
And we trying to save them from
100%.
that. And that's why we work with the younger. I work with a lot of young artists now. Being independent is hard.
Right.
It's tough. I get it, you know what I'm saying, because it takes a budget to do what you need to do. But we got a lot of artists out here that's just floating right now because there's no budget.
Right.
There's no meaning of what they're doing. They're just doing it because music has become not only a passion, but it's a sport now.
And hobby.
And so it becomes a sport to see who says this better or who sounds better.
Right. Who got this many likes and this many views.
Yeah, it's about the likes now. Even when you mess with a major label, you can be hot as
Fish
Stevie
grease.
Wonder, Michael Jackson. You could be Michael Jackson hot. But when they go to your Instagram and they see you got low numbers, they don't give a damn. So you're not getting signed.
No signature.
Right. And so they want you, the major labels want you to be already seasoned, already spent 200-some thousand on your project. Like, it's that serious. To move one single, technically, you're looking at about 250,000. But the label expects that from you.
Right.
So these people that get signed, they either have somebody in their family that put up a lot of money, or they had another famous artist sign them to them. Like Moneybagg Yo got signed to Yo Gotti.
Right.
Moneybagg Yo was an artist, and he was just doing his thing, but he wasn't over that hump to get the machine yet.
Right.
So when he got with Gotti,
that gave him the machine.
100%. And it gave him some money.
Yeah, for sure.
I believe his deal was $250,000, and he took that $250,000 and he put it back into himself.
Right.
But then when he did that, because he had the machine, it was a lot easier for him.
100%.
But when you got artists out here that don't have that type of bag,
right,
it gets hard to be an artist.
It does. No, I can only imagine.
Yeah, because the goal is to raise awareness.
Right.
Raising awareness can cost. And a lot of artists don't look at that. And then they want to do the viral thing.
So everybody looking for a viral
And then they're looking for a viral payday. And not to say viral is not the way, but it's like going to the store and getting a lottery ticket.
100%.
And you hoping that you win. So I tell people, don't look for the viral, because you don't know when the viral's coming.
Right.
Just keep dropping music and keep pushing yourself. It takes a minute. People that go viral, it's just something that happens out the blue.
Really? That's not nothing they done.
Yeah, they sleep. They didn't even know they went viral till the next morning.
Not at all. It had nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
That was God's gift.
Yeah, that was God's work.
For sure. So don't take credit for those viral moments. That's God's work.
Virals ain't.
That's God's work.
Don't depend on them.
Don't depend on them.
Just keep grinding. And that's the best thing I can give these young artists.
Man, keep grinding, keep going, keep learning. That's another thing that I'm telling anyone and everyone that's listening, paying attention, keep learning. Don't stop learning, man, because once you stop learning, you can stop earning. Because that level changes. And if you only get to the height of that one level, when level 2 comes, you start at the bottom of level 2. You have to go as hard at level 2 as you did at level 1.
And not only that, but even when you get to level 2, you got to learn how to stay up there.
100%.
A lot of people, get there and they fall right back down.
Wow.
And I've been a victim of that myself. I did a joint with Trina, and I had a situation where somebody wanted to sign me, and I didn't want to sign with them, so they went as far as red flagging me.
For the song?
For the song.
Wow, that's
and
a dirty
no, I wasn't
game.
signed to them, and these platforms, they take it down immediately. As soon as someone make one call to them, it's easy to take it down. It's hard to get it back up.
Wow, it's tough.
And so, people have to really be mindful of, scavengers, scams. The scam is they take music and put a body of scams in it. And because artists is thirsty, you're going to get scammed out of 100,000 easily. Everything that you make a move on is not always going to be 100.
Right.
They do a good job at putting a wolf in sheep's clothing. And that's where us as mentors and older artists, we need to shape that form into these young artists,
right?
So they have the ability to recognize it
100%.
Before they get took to the cleaners.
100%. So this is why I try to put the young artists that I bump into with you for them jewels, because that's something that I know you know. I know it's you done been there, you done walked them dogs. So I said to myself, if I can cut the time in half from the era that Dre made along his journey, then the ones that's coming up after them, after us, then you will have the ability to they have the same ability. They have a better chance than we did.
Yeah.
You feel me? Yeah. So, and sooner the better.
Yeah.
The more we get it, the better we become. It's and my thing is our turn, and it's our turn to lead the pack.
Right.
We sometimes it's one thing to be in the game, and when you on the field, it's different. Because you in the game.
Right.
But when you're coaching and you leading the pack and you GMing and you in the skybox and you looking from an aerial view, you see the game differently.
Yeah, you do.
You feel me? So sometimes we got to come up off the field and get in the skyboxes so we can look at the game. So we can
really see who's making the moves.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And, it's just constant, music is changing every day in every way. It's forming so many ways. I'm hearing songs with things I've never heard on songs now. It's even like even me, as seasoned as I am, I'm still a student.
I bet.
Because, I know a lot, but, when you get to a point where, I got to learn what again? And I got to go into the Pro Tools and I got to learn what this doing now. And it's like, oh man, I just got done learning all this stuff and y'all making new stuff and I got to keep up with it. And it's the same with the artists. The artists, they try to make new ways of getting out there and moving around. And it's, man, look, you need to slow down and catch yourself.
Before you wreck yourself.
100%,
man.
Yeah.
So listen, man. So what you got new going on? Tell me what's new in the Dre Banks catalog.
I'm excited. I took a little time off because of my parents had died, and it took me a little minute to come back. But I shook that, and I got a new project that I'm getting ready to drop. And I got a new single called Hate On featuring Rob Curry from Day 26.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's one of my big joints right there. Then I got another joint on there with Miss Toy from the Friday soundtrack.
Okay.
And, I got 2 slappers on the EP.
That boy working.
Yeah. I decided to do an EP because it's been a minute for me coming back.
Okay.
And so I just didn't want to just drop a single this time because I got a lot of fans that say, yo, this is all we going to get and you've been gone for a minute.
Right.
So I did a little body of work this time so people can enjoy it a little bit more better. It's ready, man. I'm on my way to get ready to shoot my video with Rob Curry, and we're getting ready to set a date. We don't have an actual date yet. I believe it's going to be June, though.
Okay.
I just don't know the exact date yet, but we're looking forward for June. Man, we got, I'm trying to surpass my last single. My last single did 5 million streams.
Wow.
So yeah.
So you got some work before you.
But I got plaques to, that I earned it. I've earned it because I broke all the records from 100,000 on up. And so I went to 100,000, and I went to 200,000, then 3, 4, 500,000, and then I finally got 1 million. So I was like, oh, this is great. So, I've learned a lot on the way up, and right now I'm trying to do different things because, I learned about the game even more.
Right.
Being an independent artist is a challenge.
It is.
And
what you don't know can hurt you. Can hurt you.
Yeah.
In this industry. So it's
really a gamble. And I mean, from the very time you start anything on it, it's a gamble. But now I learned ways to spread my music out a lot better.
Okay.
I learned ways to get on the radio stations, college radio stations.
Shouts out to the college radio stations, baby. We banging 2024, baby. That motherfucking show.
Yeah, man. We work in the colleges because that's where my audience is really at. I got an older audience, but a lot of young people gravitate to me because I got songs with certain people, and they love those certain people.
Right.
Like for instance, my joint with Trina, Boyfriend Girlfriend, is streamed at 2.5 million. And so I was real proud of that. And then they wanted to see, okay, well, he did a song with a superstar. Let's see him come out with it by himself. And so I came out with a single, and it was called Off the Chain.
Okay.
And Off the Chain streamed at 5 million. So I tripled. I doubled.
And where can they find these singles?
They can go to Spotify and YouTube and Audio Mac.
Okay.
Y'all can find me in Audio Mac with my last mixtape, No Taking Losses, featuring Styles P and AZ. And hosted by my big homie Superstar J out of New York on Shade 45.
Oh, that's major.
So
major shout outs to Superstar J. That's a major
Superstar
play.
J, that's my boy. Shout out to Superstar, man. You doing your thing on Shade 45. Shout out to Shade 45 on Sirius XM. So y'all got to get that if you ain't got that.
Get that. Yeah. So we just getting down to the nitty gritty, man. So where can our fans and our followers find Dre Banks Entertainment?
Man, you could. I have a website getting built currently right now, and you can find most of my stuff on YouTube.
Under what?
Under Dre Banks.
Okay.
Just type in Dre Banks and all of my stuff, and when you get on there, just subscribe to my channel, and please go through everything, and check me out. Listen to everything.
Comment, share, subscribe.
Yeah, I need all that. I need it.
Comment, like, share, subscribe.
All that. You dig? And just really. You can just listen to the music and enjoy it because I have songs for everybody.
Okay.
I just don't focus on one genre. A lot of people want me to focus on one genre, but I be like, you know what? Skip that. We're advanced.
We're advanced.
We're advanced. So we not only rapping, we're singing, we're doing hooks.
Versatile.
And we're versatile in everything.
And don't forget you engineering though.
Off the rip.
I don't even know if they know that you do your own thing.
Man, the one thing I loved about being into music early is that it gave me an opportunity to learn early.
Right.
And it got me an opportunity to be involved with Pro Tools and learning what this was and learn how to mix. And I'm mixing some of my own songs on my EP, and they're sounding good. A lot of people was giving me thumbs up or hey,
sure.
we don't need to touch this.
Wow.
So, when you can get to that point where you can recognize yourself, your voice, your value of yourself, what you put in it and what you get out of it, things will be better for those artists. I encourage every artist to get their own studio. It's
an investment.
It's an investment, and it will help you become a better artist. You can't become the artist you want to be when you go to a session and you paying someone $200 for 2 hours. That's not gonna get it.
And they rushing you to get out of there.
Yeah, they rushing you. Come on, press play and get you up out of there.
They got the next guy on at 2:30.
Yeah, it's an appointment. I got another session coming in at 5. You got to go.
For sure.
No. See, the thing about having your own studio is you're taking your craft serious.
Right.
You're taking time not just to learn to write and to rap and to sing. You're taking time to learn how to record yourself.
Right.
To take your time is the most important element.
So would you consider this production?
Yes, definitely production, because that helps you become the artist that you are. I wouldn't be the artist I am today had I kept setting up studio appointments to go see people and be out their studio in 2 hours. Or I done blocked the whole day and I'm in there for one day, all day.
So I got a question. When did you purchase your first studio?
Oh, man. I was on Sherman, and I purchased a microphone and a recording board. And I made my own beats. So I would put all that into this machine, and I would bring my fellas over to the basement, and I would put a mic stand up right there. And the machine was no more than a 10 by 10, and I would set that thing up and I would push record and play, and they would literally rap into that microphone, and I would get it out the machine.
Wow.
And it was the young days when the machines was first coming out and stuff.
Okay.
Pro Tools wasn't even out yet.
Right.
And so I learned so much from that right there. It just set me up for the times when the Pro Tools came out and the computers came. That's when everything really changed.
Right.
Because now we went from tape reel to reel to a machine to Pro Tools. And Pro Tools is still being used to this day. I recommend all artists, when you get your studio, buy Pro Tools. Don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself.
There you go.
Because Pro Tools is a standard equipment that we use to this day. And when you want to get your stuff mixed, most studios in the USA is working with Pro Tools. And so that'd be your best investment, is to get Pro Tools. And you can also rent Pro Tools for 30 days and pay monthly to keep it open. But I would suggest buying the whole thing.
Right.
And just really load it up full of good plugins.
Plugins, yep.
And, good things that make the sounds that you're looking for, that find yourself, find what your niche is in the music game, and go straight to it.
Wow, get busy with it.
Get busy on it.
Get busy with it.
Yeah.
Man, listen, man, it was great having you, man. I said salute, man. I appreciate you stopping by,
Thank you.
man.
It was a blessing for me to be here, man. I appreciate
always, man. It's a mercy, man. The history that we have, it would have been remiss for me not to have you on the platform.
Oh man, absolutely. I enjoyed it, and I hope that I reach some young artists out there that's trying to be artists. Listen, I hope you take my words serious.
Yes.
And if y'all need me, y'all can find me at I am Dre Banks on Instagram. We could chop it up, hit my DM, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that these new artists has got. and what they're doing, because that's the thing that I want to get back. I want to work with all these artists, producers, and let them know that we here for y'all too. You know?
Alhamdulillah, man. That's one thing about From Blocks to Boardrooms, man. We coming back.
Yeah, absolutely.
We coming back, baby. Don't they counted us out, but they should have counted us in.
Counted us in, you dig?
Man. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
It's like that. Hate on, hate on.